we're going to start the show now.
Yeah, why?
We're starting it now. Chuck is going in.
You did it. You did it.
I'll follow along.
You did it. Had I been white and barefoot and pregnant in the kitchen, you would have been...
Good morning. Welcome to AVNewsCast.com, where the show's already in progress.
Right.
Good
morning.
Oh, we'll take our unhealthy stuff off.
I was getting ready to suggest that.
Yes.
Oh.
So we have two wonderful guests this morning.
Yes.
Because our dear Steve is not here today. He's got a prior commitment. So we have Charmaine Vega, Mama
Yay.
Vega. And she's going to educate. And then we have our beloved Chuck Simons.
Yay.
And he is just a jack of all trades, know all things, and we love him.
Mm-hmm.
So, welcome, you guys.
Thank you
Very much. And, well, let's just start right at it.
Start right where we were.
What you got for us today?
Well, what I have is you were the inspiration for one of these things.
Uh-oh.
It's one of the last times. All right, I heard that, Jeff.
Yep.
Is it tart?
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah.
See, you fell right into that.
Yeah.
You fell right into that because
I fell into that.
And she did because
Yeah.
one of the last ones that I had, it had pineapple and orange, and she was like, "Oh, this would make a good lemon drop."
Yeah.
So what I did is I ended up making a lemon drop. It's more like a lemon custard.
Ooh.
So you guys get a chance to taste that this morning. And this is really good for diabetics as well as, and we've got to get one over there to Jeff too. Because, you know, he's always our taster. And both of them, I don't know if you know this or not, but they are co-hosting with me on Lancaster Boulevard.
Oh, are they
at the
really?
farmer's market.
Okay.
So Angelina and I go through the market and we figure out what's there depending on what they have because it's a seasonal type thing. And then we will go back to another station and we end up cooking, which
And you end up cooking whatever the fresh
veggies are and everything like that. And then
Beautiful.
Jeff gets to taste, Angelina gets to taste, and you know, if anybody knows Angelina.
And my wife fights to come along and taste.
She very well will tell you exactly what
You know,
is.
it's so funny that I happen to be doing this because I am not someone that's open to new tastes.
No, it's
I'm a
obvious in
creature,
those
a habit.
on those shows.
Like she gave me what was that thing that normally is hairy? That
Okra.
Man, I was like, she is not trying to get me to eat this.
She ditched it quick too.
I'm thinking porcupine, stuff
No,
like that.
no.
Yeah.
I mean, I was like,
but
and you got the camera on me too. I just
Yeah, she did.
And she did. That's exactly
She
what
ditched
I
it.
did. I turned my face, you know, like a little child, and she's like busy throwing. And I didn't even know she did it. I was like, I don't trust you. When
We
I
don't
saw the
even have
video,
a puppy here. And she's,
you see,
Yeah.
that's what she does. So
it's really funny.
I ended up making this specifically for you
Well,
guys
let's
to
try it.
taste.
Nice.
And I want, see, you're gonna be surprised. You've got to get one over there to Jeff.
I'll jump in there after.
Oh, you will?
Uh-huh.
What do you want me to hand it to you?
Oh no, I'm going to gobble it all up after.
Yeah, he's going to eat the whole thing.
Oh, he will.
I do like that. My only question is, what do you put this on?
What do you put it on? Well, one of the things would be your vodka for sure.
Yeah, on the rim of the glass.
On the rim of the glass,
Absolutely.
you can do that. Okay.
Hello.
Okay, so that's one of the things
Yeah.
you can do.
And does it have sugar in it?
It has a little bit of sugar, but
See,
not
that's
much.
even better for
but,
diabetics.
But it already has triple sec in it.
Shut up.
Yes, I put triple sec in there to cut that tart, so it wasn't so over the top tart.
Oh, is that what it takes?
I knew I'd tasted like a little shot. Yeah.
So I put a little bit in there just to take the edge off. You know, because I know you can be a little edgy, so I had to tame it down a little.
Not me. Okay, so I could see putting that on the rim of my glass. That would be really, really good.
You can also put it in yogurt. So
Okay.
let's go the healthy tip.
All right.
I know.
No, she goes. Yeah.
You can put it on yogurt in yogurt. Mix it in with your yogurt. How about a little in some oatmeal?
I don't mess with oatmeal.
Oh, that.
See,
Love
That'd
oatmeal.
be good for lowering the cholesterol.
That's
The
it.
oatmeal lowers
The
it.
cholesterol.
And then this would help with the flavoring of it.
That-
And it's more palatable.
Yeah.
very, very good. See, he's
If you could get that stuff, I mean, oatmeal just needs to be smooth. There's stuff going on in it. I cannot. I've never had oatmeal because it just looks crazy.
It looks crazy, or have you ever tasted it?
No, because it looks crazy.
Okay, that's the next.
The things you're going to be eating
could
by the
bake
time
it.
we're done with you.
And put it in a cookie. I'll eat it that way, but it's just nasty looking.
No, it's not. It's
slimy.
very,
Oatmeal
no.
can be, okay, she's got the slimy part because
Right.
of the starch.
Exactly.
Yes. However, you can have a creamier oatmeal.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
He's right. Mm-hmm. And it depends on which one you're using. Are you using
Be
the quick,
surprised with me, huh?
the old-fashioned, or the steel cut?
Steel
know,
cut.
I just-
Steel
Because
cut.
the
Nothing
steel
but
cut-
steel cut.
See,
Yeah.
the steel
The
cut.
Quaker thing, I'll make for the kids.
No,
And
but
they
you
can
can go
make
with
it.
the steel cut, and the steel cut gives a whole nother texture to it,
Mm-hmm.
and it also is better for diabetics because it doesn't spike the sugar or anything, and it's a slow release.
Oatmeal puts me in mind of cottage cheese, which is a condensed version of a yeast infection.
Oh, here she goes.
Chlamydia.
Yeah. Just a little brighter. Disgusting.
Throw some peaches on that one, honey.
Ugh, there's no way.
Mm.
Yeah, see, no, it can be healthier.
I'm sure I've heard that it's healthy.
Okay, but anyway, since we're in the Antelope Valley, one of the things that I like to do is promote the local farmers.
Right.
Because we have a lot of farmers here that people don't even know. We have a lot of produce here.
Right.
And unfortunately, what I'm finding out is although we have all of that here, we're so unhealthy.
Of course we are. We are in
Get the slime out.
the area of the health, the service provider area, spa for the health services.
Mm-hmm.
We're Spa 1, and we are just as bad as Spa 8. Higher risks of coronary disease,
Yeah.
obesity, and all kinds of different things that take away from our
Quality of health,
of life.
yeah.
Right. So why don't you explain what Spa 1, Spa 8 is? Because I know the listeners may not know that.
Right. The
Listeners.
the Department of Health Services and Social Services are divided into 8 areas. And they're called service provider areas in the Los Angeles County. It has nothing to do with the city. It has to do with the county.
Okay.
It will overlap the
city.
cities.
Okay.
And when we're thinking spa, we're not thinking...
Yeah, I know. Angie was thinking mani-pedi and...
Yeah.
and mud
I
pads and
need a good one.
good...
You're talking to me at Angelina, so it's like spa?
Yeah.
Right. Well, I thought you might have heard about this since you just went through all this foster care stuff.
No, they
No.
didn't say anything
They
about
didn't
spas.
talk
No.
about that?
No, they don't.
Oh, well, not those kind of spas. Yeah.
No spas they didn't talk about.
Well, that is surprising because the foster care system is underneath the service provider areas where they get funding. I'm going to put that down. They get funding from the Los Angeles County Department of Social Services.
Okay.
So what would be Spa 1?
Spa 1 is...
Or is that
Antelope
just...
Valley.
Oh, that's just how they divide the region.
Right. If you
Yeah.
look at a
Okay.
map,
Okay, got it.
you would have Spa 1, which is Antelope Valley. I believe it goes out to Gorman and takes in part of the Santa Clarita Valley.
And then in the spa, the demographics, health-wise, is how they make up what that spa
Is going to receive.
is going to receive.
Right, even though we get less funding.
Yeah, I bet we get Canyon Country, not Valencia, huh?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So
And
why
not
do we
even
get
all of
less
Canyon
funding?
Country.
Why do we get less funding?
Less people and more space.
We're the hillbillies.
We
We're
are
the stepchildren.
You don't want all the
one.
teeth.
We, yeah. Well, that's
Kinda
part
true,
of it.
yeah.
We are the forgotten.
Okay.
In fact, Mental Health America with Judy Cooperberg,
Yes.
she got excited because they meaning the Department of Social Services, actually came up and did the seminar up here. Which
Like, oh
I
my God,
remember-
we don't have to go down.
Right.
Okay.
Tom Lackey was part of that, and there were several others that showed up.
Okay.
Now, usually, the social service providers in this area, the nonprofits, they have to go down to
LA.
LA.
LA. That's true.
And in fact, to quote one of them, oh my gosh, it's just so far up here.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
did you try to take the train? Oh, I would never take the train. That was one of the representatives from
Oh, wow.
It's like you're.
And when you have
okay
people with that mindset, then of course
Already,
you're going to get
okay.
less,
Right.
Because no one's trying to make that trip to even give you a check.
Exactly. Right.
Well, what is it that we can do,
Have somebody that represents us out there
to actually get more, whatever it is we need for
funding.
funding for exposure of the health needs that's really here, and actually get that funding? What is it that needs to be done?
They are still trying. They, meaning those service providers up here, are still trying to get the
recognition
and the in, so to speak, to get.
They probably take down a lot of pictures
people.
of the toothless and say, "Look, come on now,
Mm-hmm.
come on."
They take down a lot of the pictures of the homeless. Every year we have a count of the homeless.
What's the count now? Do you know?
No, I don't.
That's crazy to have homeless in the Antelope Valley. I'm sorry.
It is.
It's too hot.
Or too cold.
And it's too cold. Well, I mean, it's just too hot.
Yeah.
It is too hot, which is why some of the providers will provide patio covers. Because if you're sleeping on a park bench,
Yeah.
you're going to get kicked out.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. Okay.
Well,
we can
yeah,
go
gone away
into
from
something
your health
crazy.
food.
No,
Yeah.
but we really didn't go away from the health food, because that's one of the things. We're on the NAMI board, all three of us, myself, Angelina, and Jeff, and that's one of the things I talk about is
I didn't know
health.
you were on the board.
Yes, I'm on
Jean
the board.
Harris is fantastic.
Yeah, she is.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they hooked us into that. So we're on that. But I come from up.
You did get hooked into it.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
I
Linda
did.
Vasquez is pretty good at getting.
That's who did it.
Yeah, I know.
That's
I know.
exactly. That's
The puppet master.
Yeah, Jen,
Yeah.
That's actually who did it. She sent me a text message this morning to come talk over at DeVry today too. So know, but from a health standpoint, the mental health and the homeless and food and nutrition,
It's all hand in
all
hand.
hand in hand.
Right.
It's a
So for me,
humanitarian issue.
that's why my hand is in all of those things, and I'm trying to show that we do have a lot of food here. We do have a lot of things that we can provide to the average person and the homeless, and it's not out of reach for people to be eating organic.
Right.
No,
right.
it isn't. Especially, I mean, it sounds kind of bad because you go to the farmer's market and you talk to these guys that are really well versed with what's
Yes.
required, and they're like, we don't have the official organic, but we are organic.
You're talking certified and non-certified.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And
what's the difference between
Money.
Money.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Look,
Money.
that's exactly what it is.
Money.
Certified and non-certified is because you paid the fee,
Right.
you paid the
And that's what I was going to say.
Right.
I'm excited about it. It sounds kind of mean, but I'm excited about it because the prices are low. Because
Yes.
they didn't pay the price
the
to be
price to be
organic,
organic.
so they didn't
Right.
have to up the price.
Right.
So I could go to the farmer's market and get really reasonable produce that's organic.
Right.
That's exactly right.
Right. I know of a guy who did not pay the fee, and the Department of Agriculture went around, and this was at the farmer's market held on Saturday morning.
Oh.
Well, he got a $1,000 fine.
Oof.
Do you know how long it takes a small farmer to get?
A long time.
A long time. And it's
But
like
why
you
did he
don't
get
recover.
fined? Did he have the signs that he was organic or something?
No,
like that?
he didn't have the proper box for his peaches to be carried.
Oh,
Stop.
Pete.
Yes.
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 They will fine you for that.
That's
Isn't that
right.
something? I came back from Virginia after I got out of the Navy in my Yugo. And, hey, I love my Yugo.
Yeah, he
And I
went
went
for
to I went to get it registered, and I had to smog it, and it exceeded all the requirements. And I went to the DMV, and because I didn't have a sticker saying it was built to those requirements, I ended up getting fined $500.
Yep.
So if you
Which
look
is
at the
more than
driver's
buying a
license
car.
picture I took, my first driver's license picture out of the Navy,
He didn't hear that.
was my serial killer. Hey, I love my Yugo. Actually, I had a dream about a Yugo last night. It was a burgundy Yugo, and somebody painted Miss Edna on it in gold.
Of course they did.
And I was getting into I was getting in the car with Howard Stern, and I was going to play him a CD of the show, and then my dog woke me up, and I never got to play it for him. So if I don't get on XM, it's my dog's fault.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yep.
not the fact that you were putting Howard Stern in a Yugo.
Well, he didn't seem to mind it.
Yeah, oh, okay.
I have a question, not to get completely off subject,
No,
but
go right ahead.
you know, I go and I get all my veggies and my fruit from the farmer's market every Thursday. That's what I do now. But my problem is fruit flies.
Oh.
I don't like cold vegetables or fruit, so I don't
No?
like to put it in. No, I don't.
I like
it cold.
everything out of the
I like
fridge.
it room temperature. But the fruit flies are like my enemy, and I
Yeah.
don't know how to combat that.
Right. And I'm having that problem with the mulch, rather than going out and paying $7 or $8 for a bag of mulch, just create my own mulch.
Right.
But you get the fruit flies.
I don't
The
know the answer.
Drosophilus.
I don't know the answer to fruit flies. I would think in
We
the home.
stumped you.
Yeah, you stumped
Oh
me.
dear.
You stumped
I don't
me.
believe it.
But I will find an answer.
Yes.
You know, the next time I will have an answer for you. I would think that in the home they have those mesh nets that you might be able
Yeah, I
to
could
put
use that.
over. However, because they're organic, you probably have it where some of the larvae or some of like that is probably already
You just
there.
killed Angie.
What are you
It's
talking
gone
about?
now.
Ooh.
There it
What are you
went.
talking about?
She's going back to processed sodium.
I sure am. What are you saying to me?
What do you think of all the protein in them fly larvae?
Yeah.
What are you
It's
saying?
probably just there, because it's in the air. It's like mold. Mold is in the air. If you want to make, like, for example, sourdough bread, you just take flour, water,
I understand,
put it on.
but
and
are
so
you
it's
telling me
in the
that my
air.
peaches have larvae on it?
I'm saying it might. I didn't say it did. I said it could.
Do you like figs?
I'm going back to Ralph's.
No,
Do you
you're
like
not.
figs?
Where they scrub it and they wax
No,
it.
you're not doing that. You're not doing that.
Touching that one.
I know.
I mean, really?
Yes, really. Well, it's natural. It's natural. It's not going to kill you. It is not. You're just upset because they're flying around in the air and they're annoying you. That's
Yes.
more anything what it is. And what I'm saying is that one of the things you could probably do is even at Dollar Tree, 99-cent stores, sometimes they have those what is it, picnic mesh.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
when
I can get
you have
that.
a plate and then they have the mesh over it. To me, if you did something like that, you have it covered so that if they are flying around somewhere, they're not going to seek it out if they're not already there. But if they're
Yeah, if they're already there, then you're encasing
then
it.
you're just
Lord.
You open the thing up and woo!
They get to multiply and do not get to escape. Darby stew, baby.
Yum.
sorry, Angelina.
You know what? And
Now,
I
even
will
with the
tell you that
processed
I've never
stuff-
had a problem with those things until I started getting it at the farmer's market.
Because that's organic. They're not killed with pesticides.
Right.
Oh.
Right.
I like
You eat
pesticides.
so many
No.
bug parts that you and rat
No,
hairs you don't
eat
know
the
about.
pesticides.
Right.
You don't.
Such as imitation raspberry.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you really have.
You know, one of the things I'm thinking of you might be able to try
Wine?
is take a little bit of water with vinegar. And when you take it home,
Oh, wipe it down.
wipe it down with that, because vinegar is something that will kill even weeds.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So if it will kill that,
Okay.
that's natural.
Okay, I'll
Okay,
try
so
that.
try a little bit of water with vinegar.
While we're on the vinegar subject, if
So-
you take vinegar and soak a little square of paper towel,
Something that
Yeah, because
you
my
could try.
daughter has like 2 wine glasses with red wine in it.
Mm-hmm.
Like for baskets. I'm like, what are you doing?
Well, she's doing that to attract them over there,
Yeah,
so that they
yeah. And
they
they're
will let-
dropping in there, but
and
there's
they'll go in there.
countless.
But what I would say is just take a little bit of vinegar and water,
Yeah.
and then just like he said, you could use just a paper towel, soak it in a paper towel, and just wipe it down so it's not drenching, but you're just covering the surface to wipe
I'll
off what
try
might
that.
be in there. So I would
Yeah.
try
I'll try
that. You
that.
can let me know how that works. If that doesn't work, I'll see if I can't think of something else that's natural.
I mean, you shouldn't have told me no lava is going to be.
yeah, it's
I
done.
didn't
Angie's
say it
done.
was. I said it could be.
You never had biology class in college?
Yeah, I had it in high. Yeah, I had it
And you
in college
never,
too.
you never had that.
I didn't. You know that kind of
Drosophilus
stuff.
around?
If it makes me crazy, I let it go.
Mm.
No, you don't want to do that. But anyway, we also I
Oh,
want to
yeah, let's see.
give you
What
some
else
more
you got?
stuff here. We also have a lot of farmers out here who have the apples, especially out in Little Rock,
Tehachapi and-
Tehachapi, all of that. So, my biggest thing this past 2 weeks is everybody's been asking me for my apple butter. Because I do an awesome apple butter.
Is there butter in there?
No.
Okay.
They just call it butter because it's whipped that way.
Okay, see, that's what I gotta tell you. You gotta tell me.
So a butter and a spread are very similar. A spread does not have any sugar in it. That's more European. So if they call it an apple spread, it doesn't.
It's like applesauce.
Yes.
I think it's good. But wait, it has something else in it.
Chip and Dale applesauce.
Oh,
It has
really?
something else in it.
Like what?
Like a plum?
No.
No, not a plum. A prune?
No.
Apricot?
No.
Ginger?
Well, you got some cinnamon in there.
Yep.
Cinnamon.
Cinnamon, ginger.
Nutmeg.
Mm-hmm.
There's something else.
Allspice.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's applesauce.
Yep.
That's good.
That's the apple butter.
Yes.
Okay.
Now,
Why do they call it apple butter?
Because it's whipped like butter. You see? It's more like
See,
a butter.
they need to pay attention, though, because
It's a texture.
I mean, I never tried apple butter because it said apple butter. And I'm like, I don't want butter in my apples. Never tried it.
I would concur with you because honey butter. Because honey and butter, it's mixed. Apples, butter,
Well,
and just put it all
Well,
together.
well, you know, they play on all these words. And I just recently
should not
found out
play.
that when they say
They could-
spread, really, it's not used that way, but the way it's supposed to be is that if you make one of these preserves, because mine are preserves because I don't add water to mine. And this, by the way, is 5 different apples. So I don't use one type of apple.
So what do you do? How do you get it like that?
I don't even know the process, but I can describe it. What I do is I take all the apples, cut them up, and put them in a pot. And then I start it to cook. And then as soon as the pot gets hot and I can see that it's getting hot, I turn it off. No, you turn it off. And then you set it aside because now it creates its own steam. And I have to do that several times until enough steam of its own has created to create its own water. So it's extracting the juices out. And then I cook it down, including the peeling. So everything is in this.
Wow.
Okay.
Which is how you get that texture.
I don't know why you just don't just come here with the Mama Vega baby food line.
I told you I am going to do
Because
the
that
baby
is
food line.
absolutely what you should be
You've
doing.
already asked me for it. I told you I will have it. You gave me my timeline. And I said I will have the baby food line. And I already have started looking for jars that I like because you already know I love different types of jars. So the baby food will have to be in a different type of jar. I won't do it in the same as all the other ones.
And what about like a pressure cooker?
Oh, yeah.
Could you do that with the apples? And
I haven't tried it in a pressure cooker only because I like to see what's going on.
yeah.
I like to know what's going on so that I can determine.
You're in the kitchen all day, huh? When you're at home.
Yeah. Yeah, I really am, especially when I know I have to start preparing because I have 2 farmers markets to do. And then I also have the Oxnard Salsa Festival coming up at the end of this month. And so I have to make sure that I have enough stock. And remember, I have Albertson stores. So I have to stock the stores. I have to make sure that I have for the farmers market. And then I have special orders. So, yes.
That's a lot of work.
So it is. It's a lot of work, but it's enjoyable.
Just by yourself.
Yes. All the recipes and everything I create myself. I'm getting to the point now that I will start having people do the bottling for me, but I will not give any of them the recipes or anything.
Right.
Unless my daughters decided they want to do it. One's a psychologist and one works for Black Infant Health, and they're like, I don't want to work that hard, Mom. See you later.
Yeah, you work hard.
Yeah.
That's hard work itself.
They're like, no, thank you. But their husbands come. One loves the salsa, so my salsa disappears when he comes to the house. It's like gone. I mean, we're not talking a little bit. He cleans it out. And my other son-in-law.
Well, salsa, that's like salad, so that's healthy.
yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
It's like salad. That's right.
Yes.
Actually, mine. I don't know if you know this, but my salsa is still, after 10 years, the only salsa in the United States that's been certified as a pure vegetable instead of a condiment. So a serving of my salsa is actually 1 serving of a vegetable, whereas others it's 2 tablespoons. Mine is a half a cup. And mine is also low on the glycemic index and all the other things. And mine is the only one in the United States where my label on it has the vegetable twirling, like when you know how you have the Produce for Better Health Foundation.
Yeah.
So I've been certified through the Produce for Better Health Foundation, and it's the only one.
You've been really
still in
busy
10
with
years.
all this.
Yes.
How long have you been doing this?
Since 2002.
That's it?
That's it. Commercially. Only since 2002 commercially. Prior to that, I was just doing it.
Do you grow vegetables and stuff like that too at your house?
I don't now, but I'm working on it. I have a gardener coming, and that's because we're in the drought and we have all of that, so I don't have the grass. So I've redesigned, because I live on an acre and a quarter, and I have all the sprinklers and everything, and they've been there for years now. And we used to have grass. But what I've done is I've let it go back. It's maybe about 8 years or so to let all of that stuff get out of it.
Right.
And now what I'm doing is I'm coming back and
what stuff get out of it?
Chemicals from the grass.
Good Lord, what am I sitting on?
Yeah, all the stuff, all that stuff. You have to let it go.
Back. So
she's letting the ground be natural.
She's letting it lie fallow.
There you go.
Such as in the Levitical times, you let the ground lay fallow for 7 years, and in the 8th year you can start to do it.
I don't want my men like that, though.
Here we go. She always...
One-track mind.
Yeah, that's the problem. That's the problem.
We took it there.
How do we take it there?
You said fallow.
Yes.
She said lay dormant.
Ain't touching that one.
That's what she's getting at.
Yeah.
But so now what I'm doing is I'm going to be planting fruit trees and different produce and things that are for here, that are for this
So let me ask you this. If you were an organic person, is that what you would normally do? You would have to let the ground go dormant for X amount of years so that everything can die first, and then till it, and then the ground would be sanctioned organic?
And then after you do that, one of the things you can do, I always forget the term, that when you plant like alfalfa or what of that, in order to add the nutrients back in, you till it, you let it, you put the alfalfa, let it grow, and there are a couple of other things. You can even do, I think, rye or buckwheat, one of those. And then you can till that in, and it puts all the nutrients, additional nutrients, into the ground.
That's a lot of work.
And then now what you do, and then you also can do crop rotation, where you plant different things, and then you can do planting where you may plant, like, say, corn, and then you have green beans. You plant them together so that now in a small space you can grow the green beans, and the green beans will use the stalk of the corn to go up, and so now you have two things growing in the same location.
It doesn't choke it out? Or?
No, it doesn't.
That's interesting. But it really can't be organic because of the chemtrails.
There you go.
Right.
There you go.
You're correct.
Yes.
However, there are things...
That and the aliens coming down, messing with people's kids.
That's true. How you can't get away from that.
You might be able to scare them by putting up a gray tone with an aluminum hat on it.
However, NASA has also provided a list, and I don't have that list with me, of various plants that you can have in your home that will actually
repel aliens.
Will take all the chemicals out of the air. There are plants that will do that, and specific plants will actually take certain chemicals out, and you can have them in your home, and that's one of the things that you can do there as well.
I remember growing up as a kid. I'm from New York. You're from New York.
I'm from New York.
It was a long time ago. But it was a big thing to have tons and tons of plants
in your
house.
That's exactly right.
And I remember we used to have that snake-looking
the snake plant, or you would have the rubber plant, the rubber tree.
Yes.
That was
and then the one that was always in your house was the...
philodendron?
No. The plant that if you burn yourself, everybody...
Aloe.
Yeah.
The aloe vera.
The aloe.
And then when my kids were little, I had a nanny, and she used to try to get my kids to drink it. Go ahead.
Nasty
working out.
But it's good for you.
Yeah, it's good for you.
It's good for you.
And it's good for your digestive system, and it's good to help clear.
But I'm not drinking it. It's slimy.
And it's helped to with ulcers or the other things, the irritations that happen because of all the GMO and because of all the nasty stuff. So, what would you like? Drink a little bit of slimy stuff with that so that you can...
I don't swallow.
Go on there.
See, you did it again. Did it again.
Steve's always worried about me, about what I'm going to say.
I said, she's going to take it down the other road. And I'm trying to be nice and pure and organic here.
No, I don't like anything slimy. I don't eat donuts with jelly, and I don't want nothing.
But the other little nuance that you may not know...
donuts aren't good for you anyway.
About the aloe is that it also helps with radiation.
Ooh.
So
Yes.
if we were to have a radiation fallout or something like that, if you have it on your skin or you ingest it, it will prevent that.
No, I'll eat it for that.
See?
See?
So there
I'm
is...
gonna have to see if I can get that green thumb out.
My mother's allergic.
To
Oh,
aloe?
really? To aloe?
Yeah. Yep.
Wow.
Yeah. She was buying this lotion with aloe in it, and
It
she
broke her
couldn't.
out.
Yeah, she couldn't understand why she kept breaking out. And
Wow, how interesting. I
that's
never
it.
heard
And
of
she has a
anybody-
really bad nickel allergy, which is pretty common.
But see, you probably didn't know I knew all of,
Oh,
growing
no,
up-
you're from New York. I knew you knew.
I'm from New York, but my grandfather was a farmer.
There you go. How you work that in New York?
So, my grandfather was a farmer in North Carolina. So every year, although I lived there, I went and worked the farm. And he was a tobacco farmer. So I actually
North
used
Carolina.
to scale the smokehouse. Where you actually would string the tobacco, and
season
my
it,
grandfather
yeah.
could tell which one of the grandchildren had done what by the way we were stringing it. And there is a particular way.
nice.
You have to, put the pole there, and then you wrap the string around and put it down this side, and then you wrap it around the other side, so that you end up with X's across the top. And he would know by the X's which one of us
Which
had done
one
it.
of the
Wow.
good
And then you have to
grandkids
take
did it
this
right?
whole long pole and you put it in the smokehouse so it would smoke, but it's a huge barn. And we would have to scale the barn all the way to the top. What's very interesting is I taught my daughters how to scale doing that, because I used to also paint houses on the outside, the houses and stuff like that. And I would climb the scaffolding. They were little, and I taught them how to how to actually climb scaffoldings and stuff. So
Yeah, trick or all trades, man.
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Spider-Woman.
Yeah, that's
There you go.
yeah. Well, you'd be surprised. So I've handed those things down, and that's one of the
absolutely,
things
yeah.
that I'm a big pusher of, is to hand all of these things down that we've forgotten: the home ec, the cooking, the sewing.
Yeah.
I've handed down the love of French fries from McDonald's till they changed the grease.
I don't know what I can do with her,
No, I'm just.
And this is who
she's
I work
not.
with tomorrow on the boulevard when we're talking organic. Do you know how much work that is? That's a lot of work.
Listen, I've
just-
come far.
Yeah. Ask Steve and Jeff how much work it is.
It's like just corral her. No matter.
No. Doesn't happen.
But you know what? Everybody who's seen the video that Jeff did, they just think it is just so funny. We don't have it all up yet. That's coming.
Yes.
But they just think it is just so funny because we don't do your typical on the boulevard.
No.
And the other thing is that she doesn't say to me, "Hey, Angelina, do you not eat this? Do you not eat that?" She just will
She's not asking you permission.
she's not
She
asking
just
me.
does it.
And I
It
keep
is.
saying,
Some of this hairy
I'm not-
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, listen, when she made that first salad, and it was what is that hairy stuff again?
Okra.
Okra.
Just
And all this
just think
other
of your
stuff, and I'm
TV
thinking
heroine.
to myself, I'm like, Lord have mercy, she put some. Where's the lettuce? All
you
of this
mean-
is going in my head.
You mean the iceberg lettuce?
Ugh.
No,
the
I can
polyester of
The
vegetables.
nice
I was just like,
leafy-
where is a leaf
Right.
that I could
The-
hide that okra in?
That nice
Because I didn't think it was going to be good.
lettuce that is loosely packed and just collects all the pesticides.
Right.
It is one of the dirtiest
Yes.
and
No.
non-food value.
It has no value in it
So
at all.
you don't eat
It's
a
just
lot of
water.
salads with lettuce in it?
Not iceberg.
Not
Oh,
iceberg.
no,
Romaine.
I know that. I know
That's
that. I
all
don't
we
eat
eat is
iceberg
romaine.
either.
What
I
about
eat the
kale?
color
Will you
stuff.
eat kale? Well, you
Ooh.
will eat kale, but you eat it in your smoothies.
Yeah.
But
Oh.
other than the real hot one that we got, the one that was really, really tart, but so
But I
you,
died.
You didn't like the competition, did you? Hot and tart kale. Is that?
that's what it was.
I had to turn it on.
Yeah, that was good. That was a good one.
No, I mean, I'm totally into the smoothies every day. I mean, it's tremendous that it's like your eyes are open at another octave. It's crazy how more alert you are drinking.
Well,
that
that's
stuff
because
every
you're
day.
getting all the oxygen in your
Yeah.
blood because of the
Yes.
oxygen
Yeah.
that's actually in it. It's
Right.
when I did it in the hospital, I coined the phrase chlorofusion. You're getting an infusion of chlorophyll, which is the oxygen and everything that you need.
The other food that I would love for you to tell me what I need to take every day and how long it would take for me to feel the effect is something to improve my memory
Okay.
and to improve my clarity and my sharpness.
Your brain.
Yeah.
St.
You want it
John's wort.
sharper? Dang. we won't know what to do with you then.
Oh,
Well, she might remember what she said, or actually, she might
I'll remember your names.
remember what Steve said.
Yeah, the day
on your
before.
show, and I won't have
Right.
to remind them that.
Right, 'cause I'm
say
like,
that.
where's
they
Chuck
put
at?
Chuck out of work.
Chuck did it.
He did say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
We'll work on that for you.
Yeah.
yeah.
You know, because I'll do it with food where I can tell you some different herbs like ginkgo jojoba and certain things like that. And one of my neighbors actually has a tree, a jojoba
A
tree.
ginkgo tree?
Yes, she does. And I do.
What does that look like?
I can't describe the tree, but it has these little fruits on it that look like miniature pears, apples,
Can you just
whatever,
eat it?
and you can eat them. And the Asians wait until
great.
they dry, and then you just eat them as a snack. Oh my God, she gave me some of those last year, and I ended up. It took me 2 days to take all the seeds out because they're little.
Yeah.
But I actually have some, so I'll bring you some of that. I'll
Ooh.
try to remember to bring both of you guys some of that tomorrow. And if you're on the
Nice.
Boulevard, I'll have some
Please.
for you as well.
That would be really good.
know, I was
would
thinking
love
that-
to
But
eat
that's
some
very
stuff.
good. You can eat it, not just the oil. You know, you always hear about the jojoba oil, but this is, and that's made from the seed. But this is actually the fruit, and the fruit you can just
Is it bitter?
eat it. No, it's not. It's sweet.
Oh, okay.
No, you can eat it. This one you'll eat. It's like I said, it's a cross between a pear and an apple, but they're little. They're about
Yeah,
this big.
yeah, yeah.
They're real little, and she happens to have a tree.
She
So
must
she
be
gives
smart
me.
as a whip.
She is actually.
You see that? I need me
She
a
is.
jojoba tree.
And you know
Yes.
what? When they dry, you know who her dogs like to eat them. I have to go
Uh-oh.
fight her dogs for them
See?
because her dogs love to eat them.
You know, I was thinking about plants you don't recognize. I thought about you could do shrubs in front of your house and nobody would ever know the difference. Who's ever seen a coca plant?
Oh yeah.
You could totally put them all. And no cops would drive by; they wouldn't know that. Nothing. You just walk outside, snatch a couple leaves off in the morning instead of the cup of coffee, and chew them up like the Peruvians do, and
That's
you're
true.
good to go. Nobody would ever know what.
They wouldn't even know what it was.
Uh-uh.
That's true. They really wouldn't.
Not that I'd know where to.
But
You
talking
can't go
about
down to
brain-
Lowe's and get a
Here's
You got
bag
some
of
brain
coca
stuff?
I've got
seeds.
some brain
Yeah.
stuff.
Uh-oh.
We are in the Antelope Valley, so coca plants would go over well.
Oh yeah.
So this would be
Mm-hmm.
how I always like to find out what I could use it. Like, how am I practically eating? What am I going to do with this?
You can put that on sourdough bread.
Okay.
You can put it in ice cream,
Biscuit.
Yeah.
biscuits.
All the things that you just
I can't eat any of that stuff.
yeah.
Biscuits.
Your
No.
breads, your ice
Sourdough-
cream,
oh.
all that stuff that
You really shouldn't be eating unless you're doing it without the gluten.
I could do this. You know, I really do want to see about going gluten free.
Okay, I'm working on that, and I'm going to have some recipes in the cookbook that I'm coming out with. It's almost done.
Okay.
The cookbook is almost done.
We made
we
some
gotta get the electronic version up.
gluten-free,
Yes, and I got to
cinnamon
get that
rolls.
to you,
Yeah.
Jeff.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yes, we did.
And they were good. I was shocked.
Yes, and I've tweaked the recipe
Okay.
because we did regular cinnamon rolls that were awesome. She's got awesome cinnamon rolls. I went non-gluten. I
Yeah.
mean, I went gluten that day, but then we did both. Because what she and I were trying to do is figure out how we can do that. We're trying to
Yeah.
come up with the cinnamon roll thing that the two of us are doing to make it healthier, but
Right.
still have it. And so I'm trying to tweak it. Now that I know what the recipe is, I'm busy working on getting it so that it's not more like a cookie and more.
I liked it like that, though.
I know, but we can have both.
And I liked it without a lot of the sweet. I liked the bread of it. It was really,
Yeah,
really good.
it was good. And we used
Preserves.
we used the carrot one. We put carrot in the middle of it. Is what we did. We did, and it did. It came out really good. It really did come out good. But I'm working on another one as well because I've started having people here in the Antelope Valley asking me for gluten-free cinnamon rolls of all things.
Oh, really?
Yes, no, specifically. And you were out of town, so I
I
ended
had
up.
a good time, too.
Yeah, she was. So I ended up.
I
having
won't
to
tell her
make
about the
them.
beignets.
Yes,
I only
Richard.
have 3.
But this I want you guys to taste.
You know, your gluten-free cinnamon rolls.
Yes.
There are enough small independent like coffee shops and stuff like over on 50th Street.
This is prunes
Yes.
or something.
Yes, that would probably corporate probably have. Oh no, we already got our big old contracts with all
Yeah,
of the
yeah.
processed foods and
What,
all
like
of
sagebrush?
Yes,
And you're
Right.
right. And there are a couple of them that have told me that what they would like to do is they will start carrying some of my preserves. So
very nice.
So I figured that would go well with them, and I do preserves using wine, and I'm
There you go.
Hello.
Got her back. Lost her at Larva and got her back with wine.
I haven't gone to them, but I know I'm trying to get to a couple of the local ones, because we have quite a few that's here,
Yeah.
wineries
Oh,
that's here in the valley. So I want to go to them and tell them that I'll start making using their wines specifically and making some of the preserves for them exclusively using their wines. So I'm in the process of doing that as well. Because I think that will get people to not just drink it, but eat the stuff and use it in different ways, so that, you see what I'm saying, so that we can actually get the healthy stuff, because wines are very healthy.
I just
as
thought
well.
of this thing that I used to make, and I won't tell you on the air because I don't want anybody to bite it.
Okay.
But we would go wine tasting and grab a dessert wine and do some wonderful things with it. So I'll tell you about it.
Okay.
Because you could totally do it with one of your preserves.
Okay.
And some dessert wine, and it's ridiculously good.
Okay. Well, we'll do that off the air.
This
But you have
tastes
to
like
taste this.
plum.
It does. Well, it's a brain food. And I've made this
It's
specifically for children, is what I did. This is one of the ones I did for children. And it's made with dates, prunes, and figs. That's it. That's all that's in it. There's no added sugar.
There's no cinnamon in that.
There is
Yeah.
cinnamon and nutmeg. There is cinnamon and nutmeg in it. But and a little bit of ginger. I have a little bit of ginger in there. But that's something that I make, and the kids go wild over it. And I tell parents that they can use this instead of caramel. And therefore you can use it for the apples and all the fruit that you would normally like as a dip.
Okay.
So then it hardens up like.
It stays soft like this.
Really?
It stays soft.
Okay, so
but
it's
you
like a
just
dipping
use it
caramel.
as
As a
dip it.
dip,
You
right.
just use it as a dip.
Okay,
And this
I
way
like that.
the children can actually have it. And so
And it's
at the
healthy.
winery, I have several parents who come there where I had the little kids at the hospital when they were little, and now they come there specifically to get this particular one. So I usually will have to try to keep this one there. But it is a brain food. All of those things are good for your brain. So when you asked about a brain food, that's one of the ones that's very good for it.
Okay, but the question is, how much before you start feeling the effect?
That depends. It depends on the chemistry in your body, how much garbage you have in, garbage out. So you got to get all the garbage out. It depends on
That's a cleanse, honey.
Yes.
That is rough.
yes.
That is rough. A cleanse. That's like fasting.
Yeah, it's terrible.
So you've got to
yeah.
get all that stuff out, and you've got to flush it with water and stuff. So now this is going to react quicker. It's kind of like if you don't take medication, and you, like me, you give me something to take, and the dosage that you give someone else is going to be far greater than mine because I don't take any at all.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing. So if you have a lot of stuff, because a lot of the chemicals that you have are actually inhibiting your body from absorbing the nutrients
Yes,
and minerals
they are.
that you need. They
Certainly.
stop it. They're blockers. They're
Yeah,
considered
they're
blockers. So you have to get rid of all of that stuff, and depending on what you have and how much fat you have,
Uh-oh.
okay, because those chemicals attach to the fat and they cling to it and they stay there. So although
like
you think
THC.
you've gotten rid of all of this stuff, you haven't. So you have to do all that, do the cleanse, get rid of it, and now when you start this, now it'll be faster for you. So when you have all those, that's why I can't answer the question. I'm answering it, but I can't answer
Yeah,
it.
it's complex. I
Yes.
get that.
Right. A friend of mine had cancer and changed his whole diet. He survived it.
Right.
After he had a mastectomy. Is that the right term for a guy? I don't know.
If you took your breath off, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah.
And he changed his whole diet, and he got really concerned about eating anything that had the fat in it
That's exactly right.
because that's where the cancer cells.
That's where they hide. They attach to it.
Yeah.
Diet didn't
And
help
soy
Steve
actually
Jobs,
will
though.
make cancer cells grow. I know it's a
Which one?
soy. I know that's
Yeah.
controversial.
I heard that
And some
too.
people will say yes, no, whatever. I err on the side of caution.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, if you're if a doctor is saying don't to a cancer patient, don't eat soy, and then you're also saying that we all have the cancer cell in us, duh. How long does it take for you to connect the dots?
Right.
My dad's a survivor of that, and he changed a lot of his diet too.
And that's what people. That's.
I mean, that's
It-
all of what it is. I mean, we
exactly.
we get sick simply because of what we put in our mouth.
That's
Yes.
yes.
I mean, that and what we put on our skin. And, I mean, we're
Everything.
absorbing everything 24 hours a day. That's why I got rid of Teflon. The minute they said 98% of Americans have Teflon in our bodies and it's not going anywhere, I'm like,
Exactly.
Somebody is forming cancer to somebody.
That's
Really?
Yes.
I was not aware
Yes.
of that.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Okay.
Yes, definitely Teflon.
Yeah,
That's why
don't
they
use Teflon.
That's why they came out with the ceramic, cooking utensils and pots and frying pans.
Or
and stuff.
just a good old fashioned cast iron.
Only if you should only use the cast iron if you are iron deficient or have low iron, because you will get too much
Right.
iron from cooking in cast iron. So you can actually overload your body with iron if you cook too much in it.
Good point.
Even if you got
Good
that
point.
third generation super seasoned, never
Yeah,
touched
because it's still
soap
gonna
ever.
always come out.
Yeah, it's still.
I mean, I just love cooking in cast iron,
I
and I was always anemic anyway, so it ain't helping.
yeah.
It ain't
And it
helping
helps
me.
in child rearing, right?
Yeah, they do have little ones for that purpose.
Just those.
Yeah, just a little, but don't let the Department
I've
of Social
taken my
Services
math
know.
classes. I know better now.
But yeah, those are different things that
Do you have Teflon at home?
I'm trying to think if it's Teflon or ironstone. I don't think I have any Teflon left.
Okay, good.
Okay, well that's good.
I think it's all because the family members, they would always use
Something on
Something
a
that
steel-
scraped it up.
Yeah.
And just think, every time
Every
you
time
saw
you
that, you're eating it.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, yeah, it's like, kind of like, no.
Yeah.
No Teflon.
Yeah. But you're better off without any of the Teflon. And like I said, you can go to places like Big Lots and everything, and they have them marked down, or Didi's. Have you ever been into Didi's?
Isn't that clothes?
No.
No, I never even heard
Yeah,
of it.
it's not just clothes. It's kind of like a Ross's. Ross's
Yeah.
has it. All of the other
Oh,
stores,
wow. No,
TJ
I've never been
Maxx.
there.
You can go there,
Don't
and
make
they have
me
all
go to
the.
another store.
They have markdowns. I know. I know.
Oh,
We already talked about you having to go to
no.
different stores.
I got a problem.
Oh, no.
I've got all
She's
thick-
going to find another store to go shopping at. She's going to end up running all over town.
I know.
Oh, no, I don't.
No.
I need to.
She doesn't like
Yeah.
to.
Yeah, I don't
That's
like
Yeah.
that's the problem. She wants to go to one store, get her stuff, and out. And
And
I'm
go
trying
home.
to show her that no, that's not the way you shop.
I have a friend who will take the Michaels coupons. Well, we're out of stock. Well, what about your other store? Well, we don't work together. Oh, yes, you do. And she will take that coupon, and she will take it with another one, and she shops for the Ellen School for their art supplies.
Oh,
and
nice.
she does it
Nice.
that way. And she gets some really good deals.
Yeah, you get-
we call her the queen of discount.
Yeah, you
Or
can
the
you can
queen
get
of
it.
cheap.
You just no frugal.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Bad words to me.
No, no.
I want the king of money.
It's discipline.
Yeah, that's a bad
No.
word. Too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This
What's
one,
this, honey?
This one is blackberry combined with raspberries and a little bit of dates.
Is that imitation raspberry?
No, this
Ew.
is not.
No.
This is the real stuff. This is the real stuff.
I
crazy.
tell you.
And-
that Raspberry Beret song by Prince, it's forever
Yeah.
ruined in my mind now.
And I did not put. There's no sugar
so
in that.
pretty.
That's no sugar. And
Some of
that's
the best,
new one that's going to be there, and that's really called a tayberry.
Tayberry.
It's called tayberry.
some of the best days of my life.
It's
when I
not
was
going to be super sweet for you.
But I like it.
when I was in
not
the
super
Navy.
What would you put it on?
Ice cream. That's another one you
Yeah.
can add into
I could
your
totally
vodka.
see this on ice
You
cream.
could also
Yes.
add that into vodka.
Oh, you could put that at the bottom of the cup.
See? So it and that's one
A
that's not,
raspberry drop.
yes. So it's like
Yeah.
it's a raspberry blackberry, but what that is that if it were to be crossed,
really
they call that a
pretty.
tayberry. And so since we have a lot of raspberries and blackberries in Tehachapi, these are local as well.
I'm trying. My plants are thriving.
Uh-huh.
They're beautiful and big and fluffy and green. They have not fruited at all, and don't show any
Does it take a
signs of
couple
it.
years?
It does, and do you have both a male and female, or do you know?
There's a male and female plants.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, male and female
Yeah, they need
plants,
to
yes.
germinate.
Almond trees are like that. You need one type of each. Otherwise, they will not.
And certain ones you need one male to so many females.
Yeah.
From New York.
We know.
But yes,
Yeah.
Who knew there was male and female plants?
yes, there's male and female plants.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, and that's the way they cross-pollinate and all that kind of stuff and get
Which
it
is
all
why
over.
we need bees.
Right.
Exactly.
All right.
Because the bees are the ones that help to carry all the little sperms
That's
all over the
amazing.
place.
That's amazing. I mean, it really is. I learn something new every time you come here. Honestly, I do.
Well, I'm glad.
Male, female plants.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
There's a mate for a tree out there. Every tree has a mate.
Yes. Every tree has a mate.
Every pot has a lid.
Unless they
Well,
lost
not
it.
my kitchen cabinet.
Unless they lost the lid.
Okay, that's
But
it.
yes.
Well, I think that's great. That's great information. We all need it, tremendously. And if we could just get to the point where we're eating for our health and not for our palate, we'd be so much better off.
Well, we could actually eat for our palate if you start a child off at the very beginning. My granddaughter, she just loves the snacks of a bell pepper. Who would think of a bell pepper as a snack?
Yeah, that's
But she goes to
that's
that
so
stuff.
good.
Right.
That's so good.
And she eschews
And-
candy.
and you're right. And my grandson, he eats Brussels sprouts.
Ugh.
And they're like just
I love them. I don't know
he
what
just
the
eats them.
problem
He can't
Oh,
get
fresh?
enough. Yes, he can't get enough of them.
is. Wow.
It's like he just loves them. I'll sometimes saute them in a little bit of butter or something like
Yeah.
that, and then he just eats even more.
Yeah.
Can't add enough bacon
But-
for me to make Brussels sprouts go down. I just, ugh.
Oh, we'll just have to blend those, and I'll put it in something else just for you, Jeff. And I'll figure out some concoction, and
Please
you
make
won't
me
know
eat
that
it.
they're in there.
There you go.
I'll have to figure that one out.
Ooh. Broccoli spread. Just call it Alien Delight.
Oh
You'll
yeah,
never
that
know.
he'll never know.
Yeah.
He'll never know. I did make a guacamole using peas.
Huh.
I did. I made it because I had someone who was allergic to the avocado,
Okay.
but they wanted guacamole. So I used asparagus and peas to get the right texture that I needed.
I can't do the asparagus either. I love asparagus, but yeah.
That
Chambermaid's
just
horror.
sounds Like
You wouldn't
Exorcist
know.
in a-
No, Chambermaid's horror. I would know.
You wouldn't.
I would
Chambermaid's
know.
horror.
It is. It's true.
You wouldn't know.
Yeah. No. As
you
soon as
think-
I
if
got
you
done
think-
eating it,
if you-
if I have just a little bit of juice it was cooked in, next time I go to the bathroom, I know.
Wow.
I know.
Okay.
I don't process that right.
Wow.
Phew.
But anyway, so those are the things that I do,
Well, I love you for it
and
because we totally need it, and I love the fact that your granddaughter will eat that, and it's so funny because, in the kitchen you mimic whatever you were trained as a child to do.
Right.
So if one of my kids, when I was a younger minded person, came in the kitchen and wanted to try it, I'd be like, no, you can't eat that. You got to cook it. Immediately. I would never.
Right. Exactly.
So it's so good.
Well, that's why the generations say, "Oh, this is comfort food." What did we grow up on?
exactly.
Right.
Casseroles,
Yeah.
pot roast, everything that had all the fat stuff
It
in
just
it.
made me hungry.
Pot roast. Oh.
18 billion souls.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what we grew up on, and it's hard for us to change. I looked at the medicine cabinet that my mama had, and I said, you got to stop taking all these, because this one you're taking to take care of this problem, but it's got this side effect. So you're taking this medication to take care of this one, and this side effect to take care of this side effect. And she died 2 years ago because everything just shut down.
Exactly. You've got
Yeah.
too much in there.
Yeah.
That's it. But
Exactly.
I have another theory about the comfort food. You're right about that, the way it was. But the other thing
Oh,
with the
meatloaf. It's just,
but you can still make that healthy. Just blend up some vegetables, put it in there, they never know the difference. But the thing is that I also feel that comfort food was comfort food because everybody hung out in the kitchen,
yes.
and
yes.
that was the comfort area.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah, it was
that's
the
where
heart of the
Mom
home.
was, and everybody
Yep.
was, and so you had that touchy-feely, homey type thing. Whereas now, people don't eat at the table with everybody together. It's like they grab a plate and they go this one, that one, all over the place,
Right.
as opposed to making it, even if it's one day a week,
Yeah.
make it where no matter what. Because even at home, when I grew up, we all tried to eat together, but sometimes it wasn't. So the one day that everybody
Sundays.
had is Sunday.
Well,
Everybody, I don't care where you were,
You better make it to Sunday dinner.
make it to Sunday dinner.
Cindy forces that.
Yes.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
And
and it's nice because we go out. The kids and I will go out in the garden and pluck the stuff for dinner, and they help cook, and then Cindy gets home from work, and we're all together,
and that's very
wonderful.
that's commendable, because that's what I think needs to happen. And people who don't have the time or whatever just still need to make that time, because it's not where they don't have the time. They're choosing not to make the time and figuring out a way to make
turn off the idiot box
somewhere else.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
That's really what it is. And even growing stuff, get a pot. Get a regular flower pot. Put it in a flower pot. You can grow tomatoes. You can grow tomatillos because they grow up. You can grow peas. You don't have to do everything, but there are some things that you can do, and you can put them in a pot. You can leave them outside, bring them in if you have a patio, even in an apartment.
Even in an apartment.
Even in an apartment.
Yeah, no, you're right.
So
you're right.
There's really
you can make it work, because I remember there was a point where Jeff made me feel so bad because he had 5 days a week. He knew what he was eating every day, and I was like, wow. That's way too organized. So I twisted it and I said, okay, Sunday I'm cooking for the week.
Yeah.
So every Sunday I would just get downstairs and it was fun.
Right.
Yeah.
And I would cook for the whole week. I stopped that because you end up making stuff that's not good for you.
Right.
Because you got to make a chili, or you got to make a spaghetti, or you're making something hearty that can last. You can't make, like your vegetables that you stir fry on Sunday, you don't want to eat on Thursday.
No, but you can have some of the stuff pre-cut.
Yeah.
You can have it pre-cut, and you can have it in containers.
Yeah,
or Ziploc bags,
all kinds of containers.
And you can have that. So you can still cut down on your time by having it prepped.
Yeah.
Which is called staging. That's actually in the processing or food processing. You call that staging. So you can have different things staged so that it wouldn't take you that. And even in the pasta, you can go to a rice pasta, which is a gluten-free. So there are things you can tweak even in your pastas and certain other things that would still make it healthy. So you could do a lasagna, and I can show you how to make that even healthier.
Yeah.
And,
well, I could make this lasagna with zucchini.
With zucchini, and you can
Spaghetti
also do
squash.
rice, and you can do the rice, and then you can use Mama Vega salsa in it.
There you go.
That'll spice
There
it
you
up a
go.
little bit.
Well, I think we're almost out of time, aren't we? Yeah, we're out of
That's
time.
all she needs is more spice in her
10 minutes.
Please.
10
minutes?
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wait a minute. No, we are out of time.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I was like,
I looked
where-
elsewhere. Okay.
So what satellite are you looking at?
I
Ooh.
don't know.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys for
You're
joining
welcome.
us today. It's
always
really
a pleasure.
educational, and we love it.
I always love coming here anyway.
Yay.
And then I'll be with you and Jeff again tomorrow on the
Yes.
Boulevard. So we
Yes.
get twice.
Come and see us.
Yes, come to the Boulevard.
Yes, please do. And we have the cooking class.
All
When
right.
you sleep?
Right, she doesn't sleep. She doesn't sleep. So until tomorrow.
She's got all
thanks
those
for watching.
nutrients. She doesn't need sleep.
So, yep.
All right.
Thank you.
Are we on?
Yep. Now we are.